The views expressed in the following program do not necessarily represent those of the staff, management, or owners of WGBB.
Good evening. This is Late Night Parents, and we're originating out of the studios, the Long Island studios of WGBB 1240 AM, Long Island, New York. I'm Ted Hicks. I'm here again, a few minutes past the hour, and ways to catch the show. Just go to latenightparents.com. You'll catch a read of the show or a link. Around the table, we have, I made a mistake last week. Not guest host, co-host, none other than the wonderful, astonishing, fabulous.
All right now, Ted. This is Dr. Michelle.
This is Dr. Michelle.
And I am still a guest host.
Oh, stop.
No,
never again.
You are an official co-host.
Oh, my goodness. Richie V is in the building.
Hey, Dad, what's going on?
What's going on? A lot of things that we have to get to. First thing is for me to turn the ringer off on my phone. Want to thank a couple of people. It's going to be... I'm thinking it's not just going to be a good show. It's going to be an exceptional show.
It's going to be an amazing show because we are all here together.
That is true. Want to thank our friends that distribute the show, all of our partners. Also want to thank some special people, Verizon Fios, and Acronis Software. Why are we thanking them? Because on Wednesday, I will be partaking in the Acronis Data Safe Twitter chat. How about that?
Wow, that's nice. Great.
It's about data backup and everything else like that.
All of the things that we need to know.
Yep, securing your data, your information, at home, at work, everywhere.
Especially now at the holiday time.
That's true.
Don't want to get hacked.
Nope.
That's true. So we're going to have a good show tonight. We have two guests. Our first guest, it hails from, I'm not sure where she hails from, to be truthful, but Maureen Blaha. She's the executive director of the National Runaway Safe Line. She's going to join us at the top of the hour. And at the midpoint, we're going to have Dr. Amandia Speaks Lewis, and she's joining us in the studio.
Yes.
Dr. Lewis, how you doing?
I'm okay. Yourself?
Pretty good.
Good.
Hi there, Dr. Lewis.
Hi.
And I'll leave it there. I mean, we're expecting our first guest to dial in the next 5 minutes. And if not, don't worry, because we got Dr. Lewis in the building and Dr. Michelle in the building. And we have a special guest all the way in the back.
And
in
our
the corner.
audience. We have a studio audience.
We have a live
today.
studio audience. Yes, we do.
We have a live studio. Do you remember we had a live studio audience about a month ago?
Yep.
That's
that
right.
That was more like the peanut gallery.
Oh.
They came in here like gangbusters. They're like, oh, I'm here to support.
Dr. Michelle was rolling with friends. She had bodyguards.
I mean, but don't call it a posse.
I didn't. Did I say posse?
Don't call it a posse.
Rolling with friends.
With her friends.
That's what I said.
She was rolling with her friends.
That's one of the things that they say, especially now around holiday time, is to have a strong support network.
Okay.
And I feel that I have a strong support network. They knew I was going to be on radio, and two other men were going to be there, and they wanted to bring some estrogen into the room.
Okay.
So they were right there with me. No problem with that.
Rich, I don't even know how to even answer a question like that.
Don't, because right now we're still outnumbered.
That's true.
So
I know.
So just go with
The
it.
numbers on their side.
Yes.
And no matter what the numbers are, I think you probably still will be outnumbered.
What, like, was
Even
it?
Brian said, "Wow."
Brian said, wow. Is it 55% of Americans
Female.
female?
Yes. Females outnumber males.
So how come the females didn't vote for Hillary Clinton?
I'm not going to start that conversation.
I'm just saying. If not, we wouldn't be going through all this drama that we're going through. You know? We're going to have a dictator, whatever we want to call him.
For about 2 years.
For about 2 years. All right. All right. But, yeah, no, that's true. That's true. What's going on in your worlds?
Not much. Same old, same old. You know, it was the after Thanksgiving, week back. Everything was good. Let's see, what were we talking about last time? Echoes and Amazon. I got my Echo Dot.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
I got one
It
too.
came. So it came.
Mine
I guess
was a
that
gift.
was yesterday or Sunday.
I
Yeah.
got one as a gift.
You got one as a gift?
Yes.
Nice. Did you set it up?
Nice.
Well,
course
you
not.
already. Of course not.
I was so busy at work this week, but I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Rich,
so
I'm-
it's set up. I've been playing around with it a
Rich,
little
I'm so
bit.
happy you got an Echo. Oh, yeah, I'm happy for Dr. Michelle also.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes.
You have to know the right people so you can get one too.
Ted's probably got like one in every room of the house,
Oh.
hooked up to the system.
Oh, you already have one?
Alexa, turn off the heat.
Oh, how many do you have?
3.
See?
Oh.
See?
He probably wants mine and yours so you can have 5.
Oh, my goodness. Dr. Michelle, what's going on in your world?
Well, it was a good week to be back to work, and at the same time, I just came from an exhibit about the history of women, or the history of medicine, rather, in America, that was sponsored by the Smithsonian Institute. So it was a private viewing that I just went to.
Very nice.
It was very impressive. So I'm looking forward to making a trip to D.C. so I can see that exhibit.
Nice. Nice. I had Rich, I mean, we work together.
Yep.
But it's been such a long time since I don't plan to see you at work for a while. I mean,
I'll be back on
sometimes
Wednesday.
It's like weeks.
Wait, you're
It is
on
not-
vacation again?
Again.
Not. I have 2
You've
more
had
days
3
off.
vacations in 1 month.
Yeah. It's only 2 days. That was only the 2 days off the Thanksgiving week, and it's only 2 days off this week.
And prior to that, you were off for your birthday.
Yeah, you were.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, you were.
That week. That's
You
right.
were.
A couple days that
Because
week.
remember, we
Yep.
had to go out, and when we went out, we made sure it was on a night that
Yes.
you were here
Yes.
physically in the city, versus you having to going out to Long Island, or you coming from Long Island out to the city. So yes, we didn't want to.
Well, again, it's because my slave driver boss, I can't take any time off during the year, so I have to cram it all in at the end of the year. So,
Well, that seems kind of opposite because it seems like he would want you to work so he could be off and spend time with his family.
that would work out, wouldn't it?
Why is she throwing shots at me? And it's like not even 10 minutes into the show. This happens like every week. Linda, I'm glad you're here and you're neutral, because I think.
I was about to say
well,
that you just made an assumption there.
No, well, because Rich and I have worked together for so many years, and there's a connection there.
Yep.
And I think we went to your barbecue in 2000 and...
Your daughter was like barely walking.
I know, she was.
No, she was like 6.
Aha.
5 or 6.
Top that, Dr.
Does
Michelle.
the length of time that you know someone
Top that.
affect the quality of the relationship that you have with them? Dr. Speaks, feel free to say something,
Uh-oh.
Dr. Lewis.
Dr. Lewis is in the building.
Oh, well, I will say that the length of time plays a part. History is important in a relationship.
Okay, but that doesn't mean that he's any closer to her than he is to me, or she is to me either.
I mean, physically, right now, she's closer to you. And she's batting her eyes again at me. I'm going to stop. I'm sorry.
Well, here's what
I'm
you have to
sorry.
remember, Dr. Michelle, that history keeps people together.
And I have history with Linda, too. We ran the New York City Marathon together. Can I get a high five?
Okay.
And we were running before that.
But
We
is
are soul sisters.
that history or quality?
That's both.
Okay. So how long
See,
have
we
you known
started
her?
10.
We've known each other, 3-4 years?
3 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how long have the two of you known each other?
It's 13.
13 years. So 13, 3. Is that the delta is that?
Well, quality can a lot of times outplay history, right?
That it
Depending
can.
on what we experience together, can bring people together closely, quickly.
I'm glad Rich,
Right?
Dr. Speaks is sitting over there because I thought she was on our team.
I'm going to remain neutral.
No, that's okay.
But it's always good. I'm going to say our good friend and executive director of the National Runway Safe Line. It's an organization with the mission to keep America's runaway, homeless, and at-risk youth safe off the streets. Is not going to join us tonight. Where is she?
I'd say we still give the person
I
a
hope
chance.
she
It's
didn't
only
run
4
away.
minutes.
I hope she didn't run
See,
away either.
I thought it, but I wasn't going to say
You
it.
know,
Well,
I mean,
maybe she's busy.
That's true.
too
She
busy
probably
for
is.
this. This right here, all of this.
And this is wonderful, I have to say.
Maybe she's working with an at-risk person right now.
There you go.
That's
So,
that's a possibility.
We don't know.
Way to go, Linda. Way to go.
I didn't hear what she said.
Yeah, she's great.
Okay.
Thank you. Dr. Michelle is looking at Linda, giving her the evil eye. You know, no, it's okay. You're fine.
No,
You're fine.
I didn't hear what she said. I had my headphones on.
So this is perfect. We'll have Maureen Blaha, I guess, at another time. I'm going to not yell at her PR firm, but really thank them because now we have even more time with Dr. Speaks.
Oh, righty.
Okay.
Not to
Right.
put you on the spot or anything.
Oh,
Not
no,
to put
it's-
you on the spot.
It's okay.
Good. Okay.
So,
I'm truly enjoying myself.
Good.
So,
Good.
so before we get started, I want to thank you, all of us, we want to thank you for joining us tonight in the studio. You could be anywhere, but you're right here with us. I want to thank Dr. Michelle, as always, pulling, A-level, A-list type guests.
Oh, thank you.
So I want to thank you for that.
Oh, thank you, Ted, for that nice comment there.
It's going to be the only one you get tonight, so.
And he says that
Just when
on
you're digging
air.
yourself out,
You know?
roll the dirt back over.
Just when I thought I was out.
Ah,
No, but seriously. So, Dr. Speaks, I know
Wasn't me.
you have a relationship with Dr. Michelle. If you would explain who you are,
Okay.
some background on yourself, so it'll allow our listeners.
I was getting ready to introduce her.
Oh, okay. Great.
so without further ado,
Yes.
Without further ado,
So we have Dr. Amandia Speaks Lewis, who we know as Dr. Lewis, and she is chair of the social work department at LIU, their Brooklyn campus, and she is an entrepreneur and owner of Theratel Counseling Service, which is located in Valley Stream, New York. And I've known her for quite some time. We
Okay.
are actually fellow Sea Wolves. We graduated
Yes.
from Stony Brook together.
Ah,
all
Stony
right.
Brook.
Perfect.
So we have a lot of history.
They've got history.
You see?
Yes.
You see?
History and quality.
Yes, history and quality. This is very true.
the table is balanced.
But Rich, I see Linda in the back. She's keeping score because you can see her like she's writing it down. She's just like,
But I have to
Okay.
say, Rich, you just said something real important.
Okay.
What was that? Balance?
Balance. That's important. Having balance is important to any relationship.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
true.
Well, the topic could be anything because, I mean, I don't know about you, Rich. I feel very smart because I have 3 smart women on the other side of the table.
The team.
Yes. You know, it's really awesome. But I really want to talk to Dr. Speaks about, I'm not sure if I'm going to say my mental health, but I'm going to say about with it being the holidays.
Okay.
This has been one of those years where whenever you wake up and you turn on the TV, someone from your childhood that you might have seen on TV might have passed away this year. You know, of course, of the many people we lost Muhammad Ali. Okay, we've dealt personally. I mean, and that's like a global type figure, but personally and locally, we've lost loved ones, or loved ones have transitioned on.
Right.
So now it's the holiday season, and you start to feel slightly glum.
Yes.
And I don't know about, you know, Linda, Rich, or Dr. Michelle, how they feel about it. But, you know, you start to, I kind of sit back, and this is the 10th year of my mom passing.
Okay.
She passed in the day after Thanksgiving, 2006. So that's really significant, you know, as around about Thanksgiving and around about, you know, Christmas, it's kind of start to feel a little glum.
Right.
Well, if I could just share one thing, you just said something that was pretty important, because you and I have a commonality just based on what you said.
Okay.
Because I lost my dad the day after Thanksgiving, 2006.
Oh, wow.
Oh, goodness.
See, look at that synergy.
Right? And so the holiday season typically brings around this longing. My chair keeps going back. This longing for loved ones. And typically what we kind of hang on to are traditions that our loved ones more than likely established for us. The sense of togetherness, the sense of family. And so when we come around these times where families are meant to be together, so we look at Thanksgiving, we look at Christmas, these are family times.
Right.
And so it brings on this sense of longing for your loved ones. And it makes you feel depressed. Or I'm going to say it makes you feel sad. Let me use that word.
Okay.
Right? There's a sense of sadness that you have. And so in reflecting on the holidays and the thoughts related to being around your loved ones and those who typically have passed on. So, it, you know, in your instance, it's your mom. In my instance, it's my dad. One of the things that I always recommend around this time is to look at establishing new traditions, a way to memorialize, you know, the loved ones, having family members come together and talk about, right? So, you know, the saying that the person is always alive in your heart.
Correct.
But in your heart, they're alive, but you have to keep them alive by talking about them.
Right.
And so memorializing them and developing new traditions in ways that you can memorialize them. Even something as simple as, let's say for Thanksgiving, where you may have a family member where you have, let's say, a set of china that they left behind, or you have something that is of significance to you, use that. Bring it out. You know, set up a table, bring out the china, talk and just enjoy, or talk about times where funny things that they did, or even sayings that they have, you know, things along that line. I think those things are really important when it comes to longing for loved ones.
So it sounds like what you're saying is not to attempt to avoid thinking about the person, but embrace the positive memories you have about the person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's the key.
Right.
That's the key. So, you know, I keep going back to this word history, right? And that's something, when you think about history, it's something that we can never let go of.
Right.
You know, the memory is powerful. And so one of the things that our minds will do is, where things that are painful, your brain will try to suppress those thoughts. And losing someone that you love is painful. And so to suppress those thoughts only put you in a place where you become sad, because you don't want to think about the fact that they're not here. But that's why looking at the positive aspect, or focusing on the things that were enjoyable for you when they were present, focusing on the things that you did together, because a lot of times those are the traditions that we're going to pass down to our own children. And that's the piece that's really important. So that sense of family togetherness continues to live, because that person is the legacy. And so you keep that legacy alive. That's the most important piece of it.
Okay. I have a holiday-related question.
Okay.
So it's the holiday season. You have a lot of people that feel that stress or that pressure to deliver, because these times nowadays have gotten harder and harder,
Right.
for most Americans, whether with the massive layoffs or people their jobs are being automated or sent offshore. The pressure I'm thinking about is so if you have little ones at home, or if you have teens at home, and you have to deliver that Christmas for them, that wonderful Xbox, or that wonderful, let's just say, if you're in a situation where you have a family where maybe they don't understand the true meaning of Christmas, and they're looking for that big ticket item, and you have to, and you're pressed into, okay, dollars are tight, I don't feel good, what do I do with this?
Okay, so, and I think that where that starts with is communication, right? And it's so important, especially when we think about the holiday times, and when we look at, I have a list of issues that people experience that cause them to be unhappy during the holiday time. And financial hardship is one of the things on my list, right? Because when we look at, I'm going to say Christmas, right?
Okay.
And most times it's about the meaning of the season.
Right.
The meaning of the season is not an Xbox.
It's not.
Right? It's not an Xbox. But the pressure of having children, and I have two.
Okay.
Two.
Two. Okay, see? Right? So the pressure of wanting them to be happy. That's really what it comes down to.
Right.
We want our kids to be happy. But the one thing about children is they are happy with whatever you give them.
Okay.
So they may see an Xbox, they may see some Jordans or whatever these, they line up for the sneakers and all these kind of things. So they may see all of these things and they're excited about, I want this, I want this, I want this. But if the meaning that you put on the season is about the number of gifts you buy,
correct.
Right, you're setting yourself up there.
There you go. You're setting
Correct.
yourself up to where now you're not only are you unhappy, but your kids are unhappy.
Right.
And I just want to say this, that one of the most important things is that when we look at the season, it's really about the joy of giving.
True.
It's supposed to be about the joy of giving.
Yes, I agree with that. It's supposed to be about the joy of giving, and you have a lot of people who still give.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right. And when I say giving, I don't necessarily mean that you're answering the phone and making a donation for the many people who call asking you for money. I'm talking about going to a soup kitchen. I'm talking about going to pack boxes for people who might be less fortunate.
Right.
If we help our children to understand that too is a gift, it takes away from the Xbox. It takes away from the Nike sneakers. It allows our young people to see that there are those who are less fortunate, for them to really appreciate what it is that they actually have. Because if you don't see that in terms of the appreciation of what other people don't have, then it really doesn't have much meaning for that young person.
So I guess my rebuttal,
Okay.
and I'll just throw it out there.
Okay.
And I totally agree with you wholeheartedly with everything. So the rebuttal is coming from me, but it's not per se me.
Okay.
It's from the person or the adult or parent who isn't grounded, well-grounded, who isn't secure in themselves, who not per se to even discuss their Christianity.
Okay.
But for the parent that just thinks, oh, I got to go and get this XYZ item. I don't know what to do. They start stressing themselves out. They're not feeling good about their situation because they feel like, they don't understand the true meaning of Christmas. And they wind up in Dr. Michelle's office.
Okay.
But I think that also goes back to like where they are mentally and more so spiritually.
Right.
Because I'll just take my children for an example. They're 7th grade. We know that there's not Santa Claus.
Right.
It's your mom
Right.
and dad who get gifts.
Yep.
Right.
But throughout the year, they always
receive
whatever they need.
Right.
So when it comes to holiday time or comes to Christmas, they're not saying, okay, I made my list.
Right.
No, because you want a pair of sneakers. Okay, we'll see about getting you a pair of sneakers because you're on the basketball team.
But
it's how do you make people see that it's more about what you can do and when you can do it, as opposed to like waiting for Christmas to really go out and shop.
Well, you know what? That starts very early. That doesn't start at 15. You know, it's what you said, Dr. Michelle, is so important, is that there's a certain point where your kids know that there's not a Santa Claus, right? So there was a commercial on television the other day for a campaign to keep Santa alive. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No, I didn't see that.
Right?
I didn't know that, Rich. I don't want them to hear this. I didn't know there was like Santa. I just found that out like around like 19. All right, so go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, no.
There's an internet campaign.
Really?
Save Santa?
To save Santa. And so if there's this misconception and, you know, yes, there's a point where, you know, your kids, and I think it's more of the joy of seeing them happy for certain things.
Right.
But when you get to a place where you're beating up people to get into Walmart,
right?
Oh my goodness.
To get the doll that's where there's only one in the store, right? Some of it has to do with self-esteem. And I'm going to tell you, some of it also has to do, and this goes back to what you're talking about, some of it has to do with what that adult didn't have when they grew up.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's a big piece of it. I want my children to have what I didn't have. I want my child to have the Christmas that I didn't have. So they're willing to put themselves and other things that they need to prioritize on the back burner. You know, when we think about credit during this season, right? See, Rich is with me, right?
This is when everyone's
when we think
pulling
about
out that card,
right? So
Yep.
think about the amount of money that people are spending, or are paying back in January that they've started to spend because people shop earlier now, right?
Yep.
And the unfortunate part about it is that we have to ask ourselves the question: does Thanksgiving really exist anymore? Because we go from Halloween, right? They don't even put out the turkey anymore, right?
No.
Nope.
Do you know
Thanksgiving decorations
Halloween
doesn't
to
exist.
Christmas.
Right, Halloween to Christmas.
And plus, on Thanksgiving, you're not even with your family because you're busy working in the store because everyone wants to get to the store to go and get these
That was our
deals.
conversation last week. The store is open now, 5 o'clock. 4
Remember,
o'clock
Black
on
Friday used to be
Thursday.
a secret at a point.
Right.
Black Friday was a big secret. It was like, you know what? People didn't really talk about Black Friday. There were no commercials about Black Friday. Now, it's Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't even know what else to call it. I'm calling it Thirsty Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Because if I'm supposed to be with my family, and this falls into this, if I'm supposed to be with my family on Thanksgiving and the store opens at 5 o'clock, that's usually when we're trying to sit down to have a dinner. Right?
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah.
What
And
ends up
then, but
happening?
instead you're getting ready to rush out and hit the store and make that purchase.
Right. Absolutely.
So people
And guilty as charged, by the way.
Wait, oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
I went out there on Thursday. Yes, I did. But you're right. But there's still, again, there's balance to that as well.
Right.
There's, given the situation, I mean, of course, if you've got all the little kids around the table and it's the whole big family and everyone's there, you're not going to say to all your nieces, nephews, cousins, parents, oh, wait, got to run to the store. I'll be back.
Some people do.
Yeah,
that's the unfortunate
different.
part of it.
That's
Is that
different.
some people, unfortunately, some people will, and don't get me wrong, some people map that out. That's part
Sure.
of the tradition.
So now I would ask that then. So for those who may have turned that into their tradition, it's like, all right, so we're going to eat at 1, stores open at 5, we're going to be done, and we're all going to jump in the van and be waiting at the doors at 4 o'clock. What do you say?
Then you miss the family togetherness.
They're going to the store
Together.
They go in the store
They're in the
That's the
van
point.
together.
But that's not quality time. So quality time is where we go back to sitting down and reminiscing about the loved ones, the ones we need to memorialize during that time. That that we try to push those feelings behind by going to shop. Shopping has been used for people as a form of therapy for feeling bad. And when you get to that place, you spend money that you really don't have. Credit is a false sense of money. So I don't have it right now, but you know what? I have $500 on my credit card, and I need to go get these sneakers, or I need to get something for me to feel better. Shopping makes people feel better. It
Yeah.
gives you a sense of power, and a sense of control. But what it has done, unfortunately, is that it has moved away from that sense of family. Because when we go shopping, everybody has a shopping cart, and nobody goes in the same direction.
It's true.
But then you meet up at the end and you all go home together and you discuss what you bought.
But how are you feeling while you're walking through the store?
I'm not a shopper, so I'm the wrong person. But I'm just saying that's what people tell me that they do. They discuss, oh, I was able to get this, I was able to get that. And they think that that's spending time together.
Because what they're focusing on is the euphoric rush that comes with doing all that shopping. So when you think about people lining up outside, as soon as they open the door, what do people do?
Stampede.
They stampede in.
It's true.
You know, so
I've never been there, so I don't know what it's
I've
like.
never done that either. I've never been there.
it's not. I mean, I've never done it,
But
but
we've
it
all
doesn't
seen
look
it.
Yeah, it's on TV
Yeah, it's
every
on
year.
TV, yes.
Every year, you
Yes.
turn to CNN
Yep.
and you hear about 5 or 15 incidents
Yep.
where either people were trampled or there were
Fighting.
shots fired
Yep.
in a parking lot over an LED TV or whatever the hot item is.
So all of that is adrenaline.
But did anything happen this year, though? Because I don't recall hearing anything.
There were a couple of
There were a
incidents.
couple.
Nothing is. It was a more quiet year than previous ones. It
Well,
seemed.
you-
It
well,
didn't seem nearly as bad.
If I could jump in and say
Yeah.
this, it appears quiet because of a lot of the Trump stuff.
oh,
There's exterior
Right.
noise.
okay.
Right. Okay. That's a good way
Yeah,
to put it.
yeah.
Right. So you got a lot of other things happening that has when we think about the media in terms of sensation,
Mm-hmm.
other things may have superseded that and moved away from it. But you know, this time of year is a lot about traditions, about family. And so when you're in a place where you may have lost loved ones, or you know you're in a financial dire strait, that could be part of why some people will feel blue. So we call it the holiday blues.
So if I, per se, experience this, let's say if I'm not able to provide for my family and I'm not on solid ground because I think, hey, I have to get XYZ item for them and I am not able to deliver, and now I feel frustrated. I feel flawed, ashamed, or kind of like I'm leaving them out. You know, things like that turn into depression. Things like that turn into anxiety. So when things like that happen, am I seeing you, Dr. Speaks, or am I seeing Dr. Michelle?
Well, most times what will happen is they will go to Dr. Michelle first.
Okay.
And they're going to Dr. Michelle because it's exhibiting itself in headaches,
Okay.
Dizziness.
fatigue,
Okay.
right, and chronic, chronic fatigue, where you don't know why you're tired. A person may be overly irritable.
Shortness of breath, because they might be experiencing some panic attacks
Right.
because of the
Okay.
situation.
Right, that's the anxiety piece of it.
Okay.
So what would then happen is Dr. Michelle would do an assessment and say, you know, physically, right, and jump in, Dr. Michelle.
Blood pressure is fine. Labs are all good.
Okay.
What else is going on?
Right,
Is something going on with your family? Is something going on that's bothering you at work?
right.
And usually, as a doctor, we can detect what's going on and, okay, a little anxiety or depression. I'm not really trained in this, but I know someone who is, and we do a referral.
Right. And so they come to my office.
So during the holiday season, Dr. Michelle, I mean, because right now there's about 3.3 Americans that suffer from anxiety during the holiday season. Does that pick up for you, that type of patient that walks in with those types of issues?
Yes and no, because a lot of times what people are doing is they're so busy shopping and going to holiday parties and drinking and eating more than what they should that it sort of masks how it feels.
Right.
And then come January 1st or 2nd is when it really kicks in, and they come in and they're like, something is wrong. I don't know what's wrong.
Right.
Or the ones who are not shopping and going to holiday parties, those are the ones who come into the office with the complaints of the shortness of breath or the dizziness or the headache.
Right.
Okay.
And just to add to that, I mean, I will get calls directly to my office, and there is an increase in calls typically around the second week of November.
Okay. Just before
Thanksgiving.
The holiday season
Yes.
really kicks off.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And oftentimes it has to do with loved ones.
Right.
Not being present, families trying to figure out where the holiday is going to be at because it was always at mom's house
Right.
and mom is not here now, and so where are we going to have it? Oftentimes there's a lot of unresolved family issues that manifest themselves,
Okay.
where one family member may be having dinner and other family members are not comfortable attending for whatever reason. So a lot of times it'll start around that time, and it typically goes right through to February. New Year's is another time that people really, really have a hard time.
Maybe is it because it's another year and they may have the feeling that, well, here I am, the New Year's here and I'm in the same position, same situation I was in before.
Absolutely.
I haven't gotten any better.
Absolutely.
And so it brings them down.
Right.
Okay.
Or things that they plan to do for the year that they weren't able to do, or if there are major changes in their life throughout the year, that also plays a major part.
So, Dr. Speaks, I'm walking virtually into your office.
Okay.
I've told you the situation. Partially, I'm feeling glum from the loss of a family member, and also the dollars are a little short.
Okay.
So I can't provide for my kids.
Okay.
What are some best practices you would provide to someone like myself?
Okay, so coming into my office, the first thing is environment is very important.
Okay.
So we try to create an environment that's very soothing. We use a lot of essential oils that we have diffused, right? So lavender and chamomile, these things calm you down. And so when the person comes into my office, most times they're coming in because they need somebody to listen to them, just to hear them, to kind of say some of what you're describing, that, you know what, I can't provide for my kids, I want to do Thanksgiving. And so one of the things that I'll do is we will talk through looking at support systems.
Okay.
And really looking at their supports to see where they could go to maybe be able to tap into some of that. Again, charity is a big thing during the holidays, and sometimes people's pride get in the way where your funds may be a little short, but guess what? Your church may have things that they, toys that they're giving
Right.
away for the kids.
Okay.
Your community center maybe have an activity where they're giving away toys for the kids and things along that line. So it's helping them to come to terms with where they are currently and moving past the ego, let me say, to open up and accept the gifts that are being given to them, because people don't look at them as gifts, they look at them as charity.
So then how do you teach them to open up and to be willing to accept help? Because that's something that your children are expecting you to provide gifts, because Santa Claus, they believe in Santa Claus, and you want to be able to keep Christmas alive for them.
So that comes from them moving away from feeling like they have to purchase these big ticket items, right? So does your child have to have the Xbox this year? Can you do something where, they have the nostalgic video games now, the little Ataris?
Nintendo just came out with one.
Right,
Yeah.
I have one. I have the Atari. It's right in my house, right? So, having that Atari
64.
and sharing that with them.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, yep, it
Oh,
is.
okay.
Yeah, so they're going back to this whole nostalgic thing
Yeah.
now, where
Okay.
you can go back to the old games. So what you do is you introduce to your kids what was fun for you, as another way from moving away from, I don't even know how much the Xbox costs.
But let me tell you
300
this, because
ish.
if you think about the little handheld games, they had little sticks that moved along the line, depending on what you were playing.
Oh, yeah.
The graphics are nowhere near.
I still have a couple of mine.
No, I mean,
No, but I'm talking about the Atari.
Yeah,
but
there was no graphic.
But I'm just saying, but the graphics
Yeah.
are nowhere near what you're using now on Xbox.
Super
really
Mario.
looks like
How many
the
people?
real person.
How many people play Super Mario?
Everyone played Super Mario.
I play Super Mario.
Yes, but the graphics are nowhere near the same.
But
No.
but you know what? But what you're doing at the same time is you're allowing your kids to experience your past, right? And you're using it from that perspective. Now, here's the thing: we have to accept. We're not going to make everybody happy, and I think that's the biggest challenge that most adults have with their children, because we want them to be happy.
Correct.
They're not going to be happy, and part of them coming in is having them to accept that giving your child a gift is more important than you sacrificing things that's going to hurt you later in order to make them happy right now.
But there's a lot of people, Dr. Speaks, that see that they might listen to you, even though they should. They want to provide that 3 minutes of happiness to, their 10-year-old or their 12-year-old. So I'm just saying people do take it upon themselves, and they, I could see people making themselves sick over something like this.
Yes. And one of the things that as a therapist that I never do is I never tell a person what to do. That's very, very important.
Let them make their own decision.
They have to make their own decision. They have to, I can help them to understand consequences
Okay.
to decisions. I could help them to look at both sides. I could even go so far as doing family counseling and have everyone come in
Gotcha.
and do activities where they can establish new traditions that may move away from the focus only being on Xbox. And
Right.
Now, is it foolproof? No, I would never sit here and say that it is, because it's not.
Right.
Do I have people who come in, who may come into the office and we have this long conversation and they know that, they have to pay their rent versus taking money out of that to get a video game, and they buy the video game? People
People do
People
it.
do
I know.
it.
I know.
Sure.
I know.
we have to be honest with,
I know.
people will do it.
And I just didn't want to sound insensitive laughing.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
No. I mean, and I think it's important that, people understand, what the holidays can do to a person emotionally. Just the fact that, we look at the seasons changing.
Right.
So SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder. Right, Dr. Michelle?
Yes, got to have some light, some sunlight.
Yes. That's very real.
Okay.
And so, when we look at how the time changes and now it's dark at 5 o'clock.
Right.
It's dark
Right.
at 4:30.
See, but you
You're
look
right,
sad,
it is.
Doctor.
Oh, I am.
She made that face.
Yeah, she made the
Oh,
face.
my
You look
goodness.
sad.
I know I need sunlight.
Do you have sad? You have seasonal
This is
affective?
not about me today.
Okay, well, I just figured
And
I'd
in
throw
a
that.
throw it
second,
out
I'm
there.
going to say you are on the same side.
Yeah,
But
I'm
that's
going to
okay.
save you, Ted. So I've heard. I think I remember hearing that during the holiday season that suicide rates in general go up. Is that true? I think I remember hearing that somewhere. So.
I'm gonna say ideations, yes. Right? So people think about that because of how they're feeling. But when we look at pre-existing conditions, individuals who have pre-existing conditions of depression, and there's different levels of depression, that's a whole nother show.
Sure.
You have different types, but if a person has a pre-existing condition of depression, yes, that could happen, based on things that they're not able to process or work through from that perspective. Yeah, they could. Does the rate specifically go up during the season? I'm going to say no. Not where we have a significant number of people where it's something that would have to be talked about over and over again. You wouldn't see that. But if there are pre-existing conditions, the risk increases.
Got it.
Let me say
Right.
that.
Let me ask you a question. On that line, talking about the holiday blues, what are the percentage of your patients in your practice that you have to refer out to start on medicine for quote-unquote holiday blues?
Oh, well, I'm going to say that's very small. That's very small. to give an actual number, I may say 10%.
No, but that's good.
Right? So it's not, the good part about it is not, the number's not high because it is the holiday blues. Right? So when we look at the difference between depression and holiday blues, depression is something that, could be long term. Now, if the person is still in this space after the new year, when the numbers are starting to come down, let's say mid-January, February, then we may need to assess that particular situation. But if they're coming in and they're exhibiting this feeling of, I don't know why I'm sad, well, I was referred and my doctor said I need to see you. And ironically, what happens is that when they come in and they begin to talk, they realize what's really going on. And most times it's money. I'm going to give you, so the top things are loss of family, money.
So these are like the drivers.
Yes.
Okay.
And a sense of loneliness.
Okay.
And that sense of loneliness has to do with connections with family members.
Yes. I'll even see that in our practice where a lot of our elderly patients, they'll want to come in during the holiday time because they enjoy coming to the doctor's office because that's an outing.
Well,
and at the same time, we make them feel comfortable. And they'll bring us gifts.
Yes. And remember, when you go into a doctor's office, but what is a doctor's office you go in, they have, it's festive. So you have the Christmas tree, you have, right, see, we got a tree here, right?
Oh gosh, now I feel really bad.
You have garland,
our decorations.
Oh, you didn't put up, Doc? You didn't put up?
We didn't put them up yet because we were busy celebrating Thanksgiving.
Are you playing Christmas music?
At the office?
Yes.
Of course we are.
But and that's what they come for.
Right.
That was not convincing.
Yes, we do.
Alexa, play some Christmas music.
That means Alexa has to leave my house to go to the office. But in one of the offices we do. The other one we don't because we don't have it piped in throughout. We don't have the speakers throughout.
And so people will come for those reasons because it's festive, and especially if they're feeling lonely. If they've lost a loved one, let's say it's a married couple and they lost a loved one, they want to be around people. And also, to a big piece in the context of loneliness has to do with when you have relatives who don't live in the same state that you do. So it's not just about losing people. Yet here you are, you're the only person in New York, but you don't have the money to get to California. Right? So a lot of that actually plays into it as well.
And California might not have the money to have you come visit either.
Right.
So it goes both ways.
Right.
So then you can get hit with the double whammy, the missing the people plus the depression for not having the money to go out there. So okay.
So a lot of that happens too.
Doc.
Yes.
Doctor Speaks. We're gonna have to. I had to catch myself there because usually every week I go, Doc. And she goes, yes. We're gonna
I'm not talking to you right now, though.
We're gonna have to wrap up
already
this part of the conversation.
Okay.
Why? Because I want to make sure we're able to, for any of our listeners, near or far, that want to get in touch with you.
Okay.
They need to know, I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to get to, the bitter end.
Okay.
Best ways of getting in contact with you.
Okay.
Best ways of finding some of your work.
Okay.
All the above.
Okay. So my office, as I said, is located in Valley Stream. And the number to my Valley Stream office is 516-341-7094. And on the web, you can reach me at theratelcounseling.com.
Okay.
Maybe I should spell that
You should
right.
spell it out.
Yes,
Okay.
please do.
That's THERATEL counseling, all one word, .com. And you can go on and make an appointment. I'm also at on Twitter. I'm at Dr. Speaks Lewis.
Okay.
So I had to go look that up because.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I could also
do you have your own Facebook page?
Facebook page is my name, Amandia Speaks Lewis.
Okay.
So people can friend me there if they would like.
Is that a personal page or is that like a fan page? Because like with Dr. Michelle, she has the personal, and then she has the fan page.
The fan page is Theratel Counseling.
It's
And
not a fan page.
It's not?
It's a business page that I have.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a fan page.
No.
Isn't that what it's called, though?
I don't know. I mean,
It's not called the fan page?
Rich is
Dr.
checking.
Why is your face looking like that?
Dr. Speaks Lewis.
We still here?
Yeah, we better be still here.
Dr. Speaks. I'm just waiting for you to come over to the dark side with us, and that way we can grab Linda. But we want to thank you so much for joining us in studio tonight.
Thank you for
This
having
is
me.
the first time, and definitely won't be the last time that you're here.
Oh, I would love to come back.
As
More
we
than welcome.
time runs short, just want to run around the table. Richie V,
Teddy Ted, as always.
what's happening with you this week? As I know, I won't see you at work once again.
You will
this
see
week.
me on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday.
Okay,
I'll be there.
I'll be looking for you.
It's finals. Good luck to all our New York law school students who are about to start their finals.
Oh,
Good
wow.
luck.
Wow, okay.
Study, study, study. Keep those numbers up. That's it. That's all that's on my agenda for this week.
All right. Best ways to get in contact with you?
Facebook.com is The Real Richie V, or Twitter, it's RichieV_NY.
Last but not least, Dr. Michelle Reed, our favorite. What's going on with you this week?
It's back to work on Monday, and the boys have not one, but two, but three basketball games for school this week, plus the school concert. So between
Busy week.
basketball, books, and band.
Oh, okay. That's
the 3 B's.
Yep.
yes.
Triple B's.
What do they play?
Basketball.
No, it's in band.
Oh, trumpet.
Trumpet. Okay.
Okay.
Horns.
Yeah, both of them play trumpet.
Daughter played the sax.
I play the saxophone.
My son plays the sax too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the piano. That's right.
Our studio audience in the back, thank you so much, Ms. Valdez, for joining us.
That's right. Thank you, Linda, so much for coming in and sitting on the right side of the table.
All right, I'm going to let that one go. Let that one slide.
But I can be reached, Dr. Reed. I can be reached at Dr. Michelle, askdrmichelle.com. That's ask Dr. Michelle, ASKDR Michelle with 1L.com. And the office number is 516-794-2200, extension 8, and that's for MS Family Medicine Healthcare PC, with offices in Garden City and Rosedale, Queens, for your family medicine healthcare.
Said in one breath.
Wow.
Yes. I want to be like you.
You are like me.
Oh, my goodness. That's a
mouthful.
That is. But as always, we had, as expected, we had a really great show.
Yep.
Want to thank Dr. Speaks for joining us in studio.
Right.
As always, Dr. Michelle and Richie V.
And Ted Hicks for letting
And
us all
Ted
come
Hicks.
in.
And
Yes.
we are
Putting this
signing
together.
off. Thank you so
Have a
much.
good week, everyone.
And God
Yes,
bless.
great week.